Oh, fuck. You know what we forgot to do?
What?
Introduce who the hell we are!
No, that's not necessary. No.
Why, we should have in an introduction to our video. Like, we're two random fucks, but you go fuck yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm Omnises. You can pronounce it as Omnises or Omnises. I don't care.
I just call him Thesis.
I'm Mr. Thesis.
Yes, I am Volga. I am a random fuck who plays video games. Most of them good, except when I was younger. I played games like Jimmy Neutron, Boy Genius, Dear Lord. But yes, welcome. If you're hearing this, that means today is day one of shovelware analysis, or whatever the fuck we're going to call this. So our first two games is Jimmy Neutron, Boy Genius for the Gamecube, and Sims Busting Out for GBA or Game Boy?
GBA, to the GBA.
Okay.
So it was published by THQ and developed by Big Sky Software, whom you might know as the developers of SpongeBob Revenge of the Flying Dutchman, which is also a bad game as far as I've heard, and a game called Time Thief 1 Shadows of Light for the Commodore in 1988. I don't know if that's like an error or something. There isn't a second one, so I don't know why it's called Time Thief 1. Anyway, so Big Sky Software, or Big Sky Interactive, depending on where you're looking, has no Wikipedia article and like no real information about them as far as I know. The only thing I could find was from an obscure game and preservation site, Moby Games. And according to them, they had basically 8 months between their formation and the finished product. And this information comes from a single online interview back in 2002 and was available up until 2008, where the site no longer exists. It seems like the game wasn't made to be good or make money. It was made to fulfill a contract with THQ with basically no time to develop it. And in fact, the situation was so weird because their previous company had gone bankrupt, and so they had to renegotiate the contract with THQ while basically buying off their own work they did in the previous company. So it was this huge clusterfuck. They had to make a new company just to fulfill these contracts and then close the company to attempt to make some money back. And it's not like everybody who made it is like incompetent or something. I suppose whoever owned the company was, but you know, it's clear that some thought went into the game. But like the entire game feels in place like a first draft. It's like it's like a prototype or like a demonstration that just stretches out to be an entire game, and it came out in 2002. This was around the same time that Metroid Prime, Eternal Darkness, Super Mario Sunshine, Resident Evil Remake, some of the best games for the GameCube came out. And this came out around the time. That's what it was directly competing with. And it's dog shit. So I think the one that really got burned in the game was THQ and the poor people who had to play it.
Yes, it had some nice. It had competition, and this was. My dad bought me none of those games. No. He bought me Mario Kart Double Dash and Jimmy Neutron. I didn't even fucking watch the show. He just went, this one.
So all of my notes I was taking as I was playing through the game. So you turn on the game, you get the TV show theme song. I'm not sure if it was in the movie or not, but it seems like it was based off the movie, but it came out after the TV show started. So it seems like that's why it has access to the TV show theme song. And there's so many small things. This, like, the game sucks in general. There's so many small things that make it even worse. Like, for example, the opening screen, most games have it, press start to play or whatever. Usually you can press any button and you'll start playing. But in this case, when the opening movie is playing, pressing start doesn't skip it, but pressing A does. But when it says to press start to play, pressing A does nothing, and pressing start starts the game. very consistent. I appreciate it.
Yeah. But we should go back over like the.
Yeah, I don't think I must have not played the tutorial or something because
No. The tutorial was the opening bit.
The opening bit.
The opening theme.
Oh, is that was the tutorial?
Yes,
It was. That's like the worst tutorial I've ever played. I was so lost. I was so lost
look,
playing
it's a safe environment where you have a hard time dying infinitely. I classify that as a.
I guess, but
you have to do you have to do shit through trial and error, but it's the most fun part of the game. You get this entire automated theme. Okay, so let's go over the flow again. So
yeah.
All the kids sneak out to a theme park middle of the night after somehow it's still running. And you basically just gotta run around and collect shit for the other kids. And, generally have a good time. Next day, your parents have been kidnapped by egg yolk alien. I don't know. But
Goo boys.
Yeah, they've been kidnapped by goo boys.
Gooey boys.
Yeah, and then the game devolves into bullshit. The ant. The fucking anthill. Now,
you really want to focus on that.
Yes, well. For those who haven't played the game, you go there for some reason, in Neutron's lab, there is a hole in the wall filled with human-sized ants. Like, big motherfucker. You go in there, fight through the pseudo 2D section, and this one realize the platforming is complete shit. It feels like a ROM hack, like Kaizo Mario, where it's pixel perfect jumps in the second level.
Interesting.
So, after you get all these parts of the ship, you fly into space and try to save it. And every level then is incredibly tedious and annoying. None of them are fun. Everyone has their own special level of bullshit. The one that's completely in the dark, and you gotta bury a light bug.
Oh, right.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
Or the one in the city that I remember being like a good level when I was a kid. Because I thought it seemed like it was somewhat open, but now it's adult playing. Like, oh wait, this has like 3 paths.
My first impression when I first played was that the models were terrifying, and it's like the GameCube was fully capable of just using the models that were used in the movie, or at least downscaled somewhat. But I don't know, when I think of like what the GameCube is capable of, I'm thinking of like Sunshine and Metroid Prime and whatever, and like those had extremely detailed models, at least for like 2002. So it's like, why did they bother making these low quality, terrifying models when they could have just had something else that was even more lazy, just using Nickelodeon's work?
How about because they couldn't get Nickelodeon to hand over the model? Maybe,
I don't know. That's why a lot of this game I feel like is just kind of corporate schlock, because it was it wouldn't exist if it wasn't out of this like corporate necessity to fulfill a contract. The voice acting is terrible. I don't know. I didn't really pay enough attention to the ending credits to know if they reused any of the actors, any of Nickelodeon's actors from the movie. I would say probably not. I think they had like 1 or 2 male actors and then like 1 or 2 female actors to like voice pretty much everybody, because all of them are like really obvious accent, really obvious voice acting, like trying to change your voice to sound different, and it feels like almost like a student game, like someone's going through game design classes, and they're like trying to make a game, and they're like trying to do voice acting by themselves or whatever.
Okay, so I just tried to look at the cast, and you know what I found? PC version.
Oh yeah, there's a PC version. I think it's a
completely different version of the game was developed by AWE.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll check that out sometime. But
maybe.
I don't want to look at this.
Yeah, because I mean that's the case with a lot of these games that get pushed out. For example, like Battle for Bikini Bottom is the same on the PS2, the GameCube, the Xbox, but on the PC it's a point and click adventure game. Or I think it's there's not much actual like adventuring. I think it's more like a mini game collection. I actually used to play it as a kid, but I it's been so long my disc was scratched. I don't remember anymore.
Yeah.
And then you have lights, camera, pants, or whatever it was called. Where pants, camera, action, whatever. Where I think it was only released on GameCube. I might need to get corrected on that. Maybe it was on PS2 as well. And it was like a mini game collection. It was like a Mario Party thing, but without the board. Without the die rolling.
I'm seeing like there was one on Game Boy Advance.
But on the P, oh yeah, and the handhelds were also totally different as well. I think the GBA version of Battle for Bikini Bottom was like a whole different like side-scrolling game.
Yeah, so the one for Jimmy Neutron seems to have gotten like 3 out of 4 stars. 7 out of 10,
Yeah,
8 out of 10.
yeah.
And then the GameCube one, 1.5 stars.
Oh, that's a little bit.
18%, 2 stars. PC port 2 stars, PS2 2 stars.
Oh my goodness.
I initially saw like the GBA ones. I'm like, are you guys offering? Oh, that one's for the GBA. Never mind.
Yeah.
I thought Nintendo Power hadn't completely gone off its rock. But no, all the GameCube ones are like below, 50% or 3 stars.
Yikes.
Yeah. So yes, this game is not good. Now. Back up my notes. There was you remember the flying carpet section in the.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I have it. I have it in my notes somewhere. I literally say for this section, these carpets suck.
Yes, I have in my notes. Flying carpet cameras suck.
Yeah.
Some note immediately after bad platforming.
Yeah.
Okay, in a normal platform, you want the camera when you can't manipulate the camera yourself. You want it to be pulled back and show a coming up moving platform. You're on these flying carpets. They're moving back and forth.
Yeah. And they're platforms you have to jump on, and they move across. You have to wait for them, and they're so annoying to wait for, and they're really annoying to jump on as well.
Yeah. So while you're waiting, you want the camera to be pulled back so you know when to jump. No, it's right above your head.
Yeah, it tries to go for it tries to do a top down, but it doesn't give you enough space to look around. But it's not directly top down; it's like to the side as well, so you can't see any platforms coming. It's like the worst camera angle for the thing they were going for.
Yeah, it makes Hideo Kojima's placement of cameras in early Metal Gear look sane and competent. Like the early 3D Metal Gear have some of the worst cameras in gaming, and then Jimmy Neutron went, hold my beer, I'm gonna make these even worse.
Yeah.
It feels like it was compiled from Flatpak, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah, my notes say whoosh, 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 whoosh. Because I guess that was sound nice. And then I say there's a shitty wall texture near the wall that's supposed to look like clouds that even has seams. So it's like it looks like an obvious box that's supposed to look like clouds. And then if you fall, it has a whistle, like a slide whistle sound. I don't know what that's all about.
No.
Okay, the only good thing I have to say is that after you get to the end of it, there's a shortcut. That's it.
Yeah. And then there's the clown mouth, which is just fucking gross. Do you tell me you remember the clown section?
Oh wait. Here's what I had to say about it. Hey, you made it! It's spooky in there. That's swell. And then you get vored by a clown.
Yeah. I'd like to point out that the clown is a TARDIS. It's bigger on the inside.
Oh wait, yeah, I remember. The level, like what it looks like now, because I write down because you and your girlfriend do not like levels that have like biological stuff like that's going on. Like you don't like Jabu's belly and whatever.
Yeah, no, I don't like Jabu's belly. I don't like Gravemind from Halo.
And
I'm
like
very anti-Volga.
And I'm like, no wonder you guys don't like that shit when, like you especially when you played this as a kid. It's fucking terrifying.
Yeah, no, there's weird off-putting burping sounds and shit.
Yeah.
No, this is why I don't like
It's
this
like,
shit, because I was traumatized as a child by THQ.
it's like, what should our level be designed around? Oh, yeah, Teratoma. You know, that's what it should be designed around. This Teratoma is very artistically inspiring, you know?
Yeah. I am anti-Vora. I don't care if it's anti-Semitic Ben Shapiro. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
That.
Oh yeah. Oh, there. The way it tries to gate progression is to have there's like electricity and wires everywhere. It's like why? And then there's like force fields, and I found that a lot of them you can and teleporters. I found that a lot of the force fields you can just jump over. So like,
no, that's how I did it as a kid. I didn't know that I was supposed to like, deactivate this. I thought, oh, jump. Okay,
yeah, you can just just smash your face to it onto it and get over it, and you'll be fine.
Yeah, there's like and then there's like the little space area that's actually fun. It has like all the like little cute little mini games and shit, which is cool. And I don't have anything really to say on that other than there's no way to back out of the game, which is annoying. Like once you're in, like there's a shmup in there, 2D shooter.
Oh yeah, that's right.
You cannot leave.
I described it as a pointless side view shmup.
Yeah. Also, yeah,
I have nothing else to say.
The first level introduces you all the gameplay mechanics. If you're gonna play this game, I wouldn't recommend it, but if you're gonna play this game, go to Walmart, go to the bargain bin, dive into the bargain bin, and you'll find it. Just keep swimming down.
I wouldn't even pay for it.
No, don't. If you can find a copy on the street for free, you'll probably find it at your local dump.
Go there. Go to your local dump. If you dig deep enough, get your shovel, dig deep enough, you'll probably find it. Just clean up the disc a little bit. It'll probably work anyways.
Yeah, no.
Oh yeah, Cindy asks you to find her dog, and then the dog is like 2 feet away. and I hate this. Whenever you go to talk to somebody, it's like a different button each time. Sometimes it's B, sometimes it's A, sometimes it's X, sometimes it's Y, and it's like
I think they mapped it to start.
Yeah, I feel like really, I think no one had any communication when they were developing it. So every single time a person developed like a character, like an NPC you can talk to, each one was like, "Oh no, you should use A," and "No, you should use like X," and then they would develop it and just there's a mishmash. There's no consistency.
Yeah, but all the horrible Hot Project gameplay is in that.
Oh yeah,
you remember the skateboarding or the surfing or whatever the fuck.
Oh yeah. Oh my. And I at least until the end where I kind of gave up. I was actually trying to get all of the neurons because there's collectible neurons around everywhere or neutrons, whatever.
Atoms, whatever.
And collecting them was such a fucking pain in the ass, especially in the slide because it would have like divergent paths or whatever. And if you wanted to get all of them, you either had to go through it multiple times or whatever, or reset, or I think what I did is I think I jumped back up or whatever. Oh no, I'm thinking of a later part that has a slide where I could do that, but no, in that one I had to reset each time. It was a pain in the ass.
It was not fun. Okay, so let me describe it. Okay, so if any of you have worked before, you will know how a slide should work. Mario 64. First time there was like I think a slide in video games. I got it fucking right. It functions like a slide you think would. It's like, okay, I can't stop myself from moving forward, I can move from the side. Jimmy
you
Neutron.
go down.
No. We're gonna pull you in random fucking directions.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because clearly what it's trying to do is it's trying to have you in this small area where you can move between different like paths within it. So they tried to make it smooth. So if there's like a path, if you wanted to move to another one, you had to hold the control stick or your analog stick in that direction long enough for it to be like, okay, we're gonna slide you to this other path now. And it was so janky and so unresponsive.
Yeah, it feels like a rail section from like a late 3D Sonic, but it's not like fluid jumping. It's like you slide over, but you can slide back. It's so slow, so unresponsive, and so jank that it does not work.
Even like the slide in Kingdom Hearts was better, and that also came out around the same time.
Well, I mean, Mario 64 predated this by a mile, and it worked well.
Yeah.
Because Nintendo just went, make it a slippery slope. Yeah, those slippery slope mechanics, let's turn them into, let's make something fun.
Yeah, just make it so you just kind of slide down it, whatever.
Yeah, but we're not here to talk about Mario 64. Good game. We're here to talk about Jimmy Neutron, boy genius. Oh God.
Oh yeah, and then yeah, after the clown, you meet Sheen, and he goes,
I'm having the best time in my life. Incredible! Be careful, it's tricky. You even get a prize.
Yeah, here, child, go into the like this amusement park. What child would have walked into this place and go, oh hey, actual lava, I'm gonna platform on this?
yeah.
Like what? OSHA needs to shut this place down. Like,
I mean, seriously, because you can just fall into lava, and like it's hilarious because it's like whenever you fall into lava, you get like a little death sound. It's like happy music when you fall into lava, or whatever.
Is it?
I don't know. It's what I wrote down in my notes.
I just heard a cheese, like it sounded like someone like deflating a tiger.
Maybe. Maybe the music is just a little bit too cheerful for being in a freaking lava room. And then the lava like had surprisingly disgusting sounds for it. It's like, you know.
Yeah, I think they literally, to get all the sound effects, they brought in like some fat cousin and told him to do whatever the fuck he wanted. Like,
I want to talk about the sound effects real quick because whoever, I don't know who did the sound design. You are terrible at sound design. Please stop. And this is, 20 years ago. Please stop though. If you're still doing sound design, I hope you've gotten a lot better since then, because like in the tutorial area, you have little fire things going on, little tikis, whatever. And fire sound is so awful because it's so low quality and it's so loud. You have the music playing, and then you just whoosh, or whatever the fuck the sound effect is.
yeah.
And it's like so low quality, like it's awful. And then when I was in the next level where you're, I think is it at your house where there's aliens?
Yeah, there's like aliens like literally inside.
Yeah, the sound effects, if any of them overlap each other, it just cuts off. So if a sound effect is playing, it just cuts off and plays the next one. Also, aliens, and they can hit you. Oh my gosh, it's crazy because you can take damage. I didn't know you could take damage until then, and it's represented by slices of blueberry pie. Very good.
What? Was it blueberry? It looked like purple nonsense. I don't know.
I don't know. What's the what's the one that Jimmy's dad likes? It's blueberry, right?
I don't know. I haven't watched the show ever.
Wow.
Yeah, no. I this game, my dad got me.
You just never wanted to. You would see the show on Nickelodeon. You're like, oh no, man, none of this, man.
Yeah, no. I didn't like the 3D art style. Kid, I thought it was terrifying to me, but E.T. creeped me the fuck out when.
Yeah, I don't think I watched E.T. though, so I guess that's something the world has collectively against me.
I haven't watched E.T. either, but the story for another time.
Yeah, why is there so many shmups? So there's a shmup in the tutorial area. There's a shmup in this level. I think there's a shmup in like every level. I think.
Is there? I only found one. What the hell?
No. There was a shmup in Jimmy's basement, in Jimmy's lab. There was a rocket, and if you go in, it takes you to another shmup level. I think I mentioned later on how that there's another shmup level.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah. I don't know. It doesn't even get you anything. I think it gets you like extra lives or something. Or so, I don't know. But, the shmups were really bad. It's like you're very average, like in terms of design, very average shmup. I don't even think there's power ups, or if there are, I don't remember them.
I haven't played any of the shmups because I.
Yeah, it's boring and not terribly interesting.
Yeah. There. Eventually, the game got so. There was one. I'll leave that for later. But okay, let's. Oh, wait, I just said the menus suck, and I don't remember, like, anything about that. Like, were the menus awful? It's been so long since I played. Yes.
Well, you can't use the D-pad. You have to use the analog stick. And I think that the menus are, like, overly sensitive, so because you have to use the analog stick, you have to, like, tap down. Because if you hold down, it'll just go through the menu.
Yeah, I think it was... do you remember like the gun that made enemies grow to like?
Yeah. Okay. I called it the vine boom laser weapon, because it's fucking loud, and you pick it up. It goes whoom whoom boom boom or whatever, and then it makes the enemy inflate or deflate. I think there's another one that deflates enemies.
Yeah, there's a shrink ray that you get in the ant.
Okay. Yeah, and it makes them fucking explode.
Yeah, I called it the inflation fetish gun.
Yeah, so, yeah. You use sound to inflate enemies and pop them.
Also, another one of my notes. I want whoever designed the ant part dead. Like I actually wanted to kill. But this just looking over my notes and talking about it. Just if you ever see this game, don't.
Oh yeah. Okay, so, another thing that's really stupid and really shows how unpolished this game is, if you pick up an item that you need for progress, like a quest item, if you pick it up while you're holding like a weapon, the weapon disappears.
Oh really?
Yeah, because you can only hold one thing at a time. So if you I don't know what happens if you pick up a weapon after you get the quest item, but if you pick up a quest item, if you're holding weapon, the weapon disappears. Kicking open doors is a highlight of the game. Yeah, I think running around and you just kick the shit out of a door and it just opens. I think that's the only good thing. It's just you go up to a door and you fucking kick it.
Yeah, it feels like the game itself is schizophrenic. Like it doesn't want to know what to do.
Oh, Carl dies.
Wait, what? Carl fucking died?
Yeah, he's in your basement. He's in the basement, and I think because you have to. Cause the quest item is for Carl. I think you go through the ant hill or the ant whatever to get the quest item, and then he's like, "Yay!" and then he fucking dies.
I'll take your.
Oh, by the way, and the ants deal contact damage, and the aliens don't, which means that canonically the ants are way more dangerous than the aliens.
Yeah, like, Jimmy just has them in his basement. Yeah,
so like the aliens, I don't know how they managed to even make manage to be threatening in this universe when the ants that are just living in your walls are like way more dangerous. They'll just kill you. The aliens are gonna like abduct you. Or some shit, are gonna hit you with like a pickaxe. That's not cool. But the ants will just fucking kill you just by touching them.
Yeah, I mean, let's be fair. It's on Jimmy Neutron's house. They probably ate food absurd. I think he never gave a shit.
Yeah.
I mean, motherfucker has a piranha plant in this computer room that hits you if you try to walk past. Like seriously, there was a piranha plant like sitting like in front of the door, for some fucking reason.
Yeah.
In
So
the
I
second
think.
level.
Is there anything else to say about the second level? Because I'm ready to talk about the next one.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything left to say about Jimmy Neutron.
Oh yeah, and like, and this is in general, but especially during that anthill section, the camera angle is such shit that you have to make leaps of faith just to get through it. And like the entire section, the way it's designed with its instant like insta kill sauce, just laying on the ground, and then the ants that do contact damage and knocks you away, and then the camera angle which makes it really hard to tell where you're jumping. I think it was probably like meant to be a soft wall, to be like, oh, you have to play this multiple times just to get through it. Like,
Yeah.
otherwise it's just pure like incompetence, you know. I say, oh yeah, so I think it's in the third level where you're trying to save all the kids. The kids get like lost on this asteroid or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't think that happens in the movie.
Yeah, but everyone else just doesn't want to help.
Yeah.
One wants to help you.
No one was. Everyone's scattered on this asteroid, and we're this is a really bad situation on our way to the alien world. Oh no. Anyways, bye.
Yeah, no, literally, there's one kid who you can talk to. I forget his name.
It's like the kid with the cowboy hat, right?
No, not the kid with the cowboy hat. Not the cool kid.
Oh, the cool kid. I don't remember his name. It's like Greg or something.
I'll call him Cunt.
That's a bit much.
Yes, but, so, you see this kid, you see Cunt Face standing next to a spaceship that looks like a fucking dragon. And he's like, yeah, all the others got captured. You should go save them.
You should go save him. I'm gonna. Okay, I mean, but to be fair, I think in the movie, if not in the TV show, he's presented as like a cool guy, right? But he's like actually a total wuss. So at least that makes some sense.
Yeah. And then, like, he's seriously just still, like, just looking at nothing. When an alien is literally hitting his spaceship with a goddamn picture.
Yeah. The fucking placement of the aliens in that level just made no sense.
What is level design? Not that! Honestly, it seems like all the wrong to is on design.
I mean, they're just like bowls of goo with limbs.
Yeah, I'm not gonna blame. I remember those things from the movie, so I'm not gonna blame them
Yeah.
on the game. Like that, they look fucking stupid. They look fucking stupid, but I don't blame that on the game.
I don't know. They're aliens. They're gooey.
But okay. So a peek behind the curtain. We played this on the emulator.
Yeah.
During like parts of the game, during like the final parts of the game, I was so annoyed and so done with the game and its bullshit and restarting the level over and over again.
Oh yeah.
I just started using quick save all the fucking time.
I don't think anyone would blame you. I don't think that even really matters.
No, but I'm just saying this game was this game was impossible without quick save. And this is coming from a dude who's mediocre at video games. This isn't coming from like, oh, I'm a game journalist and I can't, play Dark Souls 1. Like, no. I consider myself moderately okay at games, and, platformers. And this was just.
I mean, you can only take 3 hits, and there's like no health, and it's interesting because the only times you get health is when you have full health, and when you need health is when you don't see any. So I think it's either the developers are trying to make you backtrack more or something, or they just don't give a shit. You know, they probably didn't play test the game. So,
well, I think it's like the old arcade idea to make the game seem longer.
maybe
Because I never beat this game as a kid. I'd get up to the final level where you got to run across the bridge.
Oh yeah.
And while being packed up by a giant chicken, and I could never do it. I honestly had PTSD flashbacks of you know that room with the giant fans hovering over like a fog of death.
Yeah.
Yeah, that room I had PTSD. That room I saw it, I'm like, it's all coming back.
I remember in that level that all the portraits of the kids looked fucking terrifying because the lighting was super harsh. So everyone looked like freaking demonic. I remember the music was pretty. I think the music in that level was pretty good. It was
probably. Well, I'm not going to give the game any credit for that.
That was probably Nickelodeon. There's 100% guarantee the music was not made in house. So,
I've heard their sound design. I don't think they're capable.
Right. Oh, there's one part of the level where you had to feed a worm bugs so it went away, and the only reason I figured out I could pick up the bugs is because they didn't disappear when I killed them. You know, because you would hit them and then most enemies would just go away. But when you killed them, they would stay there and you could pick them up. So I'm like, I'm probably meant to do something with this, probably. But you know, other than that, there was no guidance there.
Also, the worm had one looping sound effect.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. You don't feed the worm. You fucking beat it up with the worms. You just throw the worms at it and it just dies. Like that's obviously.
You throw the little beetle fucking whatever at the worm and it explodes.
Yeah, it fucking explodes. Yeah, you were feeding it, quote unquote.
Yeah, I think that might have been the original design. You feed it and it goes, oh yeah, the worm is full, now it goes away unless you pass.
Yeah.
That might have been the original design, but I think what happened was they're like, oh, we can't be bothered to animate the worm moving away.
Yeah.
It explodes.
Yeah, we would have to animate the worm going away after you feed it, so we just have it explode. Right. I think this level has not only one but like two slides. I think they're like right next to each other though, but multiple slides. I figured out that you could if you go towards the edge of the slide, you can just jump up it. So that's what I was talking about earlier, is that you could just jump up the slide to get. That's what I had to do to get all the neutrons.
Yeah, I dreaded that level constantly.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was. And then what was the level after that? Was that the one where you go into like the planet?
I don't remember.
And
so I'd like to reiterate that this level, this third level, also has a shmup, and I say no more shmups, please. Sad face. To get Carl, you have to go all the way back to the beginning of the level to get him his glasses, where there's a miner there that wasn't there before, who has the glasses for some reason. So you have to beat up this miner to get his glasses. Then you have to go all the way back through the entire level again to get Carl's glasses so you can freaking leave. I also want to say that the game didn't save properly, so I didn't have my save, and I was like, do I want to play through the entire game again? No. But then you guys got me a save, and I was like, I have to continue playing because I was given a save.
Yeah, I had gotten. What, did I beat? I think I beat the game and then gave you my save file. Or
I think you did, yeah.
Because that happened to me a few times, even with a kid. Because the game is very weird about saving.
Yeah. So the fourth level is you're on the alien planet or the spaceship or whatever, and you're saving the parents then.
Yeah, that's like interesting little like cities. Really.
Yeah, the little city thing I think was probably the most interestingly designed environment in the game, just because there's a lot of stuff happening, and the
Yeah, there's, like,
background
these-
looks kind of cool, and there's like a spaceship you can jump on and goes around an area. It still sucks to platform through. Like the camera isn't controllable, but the fixed camera is always in the worst possible spot for whatever you're doing.
Yeah. And then you get to, like, you know, this room with a giant fan that's completely fucking gray.
Yeah. In my notes, I'm complaining about the platforming a lot on this level. I'm like, there's platformers coming out of the bottom of the screen because the fixed camera means I couldn't freaking see it. There's no, I don't think there's a drop shadow, so it's really hard to tell where you're dropping from. There's a spinning gear. There's like spinning gears that spin horizontally.
Yeah.
And the camera is shit at following it. So, or like, it follows you as you go around the gear. So it like legitimately made me feel sick trying to play it. The cogs are shit to jump on because I can't remember if it maintains your momentum or not, but I remember getting from one gear to the other was a huge hassle.
Yeah, it was not fun in the slightest. But at the last level,
yeah,
you got to run across a bridge with a giant like reptilian chicken, hecky. And from my play experience, it is nigh impossible to do that with your 3 lives. Because the thing will just one-shot.
Yeah.
It's so hard to avoid. And then once you get to the final boss, he's very easy. Like, piss easy. And then you do it, credits roll, and you can finally say, I beat Jimmy Neutron, boy genius, and the world look at you and go, okay, but why? Why did you do that?
So in the 4th level...
Yeah.
So some bullshit walkway that you have to go down that you can't see because the camera's rotating around the center. Fuck you. Oh yeah, the camera rotates around the gear. I think that's what it is. Anyways, so yeah, and then you get to this reactor area. There's like 4 bugs around, and the game earlier taught me that those bugs solve puzzles. So you use the bugs to beat up the worm so it explodes, right? So here I was like, oh, there's 4 bugs. I need to do something with them because they solved a puzzle last time and you can still pick them up and throw them. But you actually don't do that. We ran out of ideas. Backtracking, smiley face. You just have to like jump up it or whatever the fuck, you know.
Yeah, and then you gotta throw like weird different things in the reactor.
Yeah. And that aren't the bugs, by the way.
Yeah. It's like, go pick up these weird bombs from different corners of the map and throw them in. And then you can rescue your friend.
Yeah. Again.
Seriously.
More slides, which is amazing.
Yeah. It's just like, at that point, it's going to start glitching all the time.
Yeah, it rotates to the left, so I have to keep pressing right to stay on the slide. Very cool. I say it's probably the best sliding section, though, LMAO, because it was short and it was not that bullshit. And it had something interesting going on. Yeah, so at this point you're in the city area and you're rescuing the adults, and I say, why is a white woman voice acting a fat Asian guy genuinely awful, and I am sad now. And then he runs away, and he opens a sci-fi door, and it's just like, how the fuck did he open the door? Does he have like a key code or something?
Yeah, does he remember his time when he was enslaved? Or
oh god, I don't even want to think about the implications.
Yeah, also he's like, oh, thanks for saving me. The rest of the parents are through here. I'm going home. See ya, small child.
So there's Oh, right. So there's another slide you go down, and it's so janky that I was going down it, and it just pushed me to the right suddenly, off a cliff for no reason. It just I was on the slide, and whoosh, I'm dead.
Yep.
I say that Ublar sounds freaking stupid as fuck. I don't know if I'm talking about his name or his voice acting. Probably his voice acting.
Probably both.
Probably both. And then, so I don't know who was doing the voice acting for Jimmy's mom, but it was absolutely awful, and it was by a dude doing falsetto or some bullshit. Right. And then, like, when you're talking to her, she has this an idle animation where she's just like, they probably was trying to make her like do a huff puff, like, right. So that, you know, they wanted her to like be breathing heavily or something, but instead they just increase the size of the model then decrease it. So it just looks like she's inflating and deflating for no reason. And then she runs away, and it looks so awful, the running animation. You were talking about the fans. I say this fan section is dumb, and I do not like it. It exemplifies all the issues with the platforming in this game,
Yeah.
where it feels stiff. Like it just feels unresponsive, and then like it just pushes you around, and it does things you don't expect. So it's really hard to actually land on the platforms you're trying to freaking land on.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
I think that's enough, Jim.
I'm not done yet.
Oh God, you have more.
Yeah, so I'll just read the rest of my notes, I guess. I had to get the chicken to hit the turrets. Sure, fuck it, why not? It's like,
Oh right.
it's not a terrible design for a boss. I don't think it's stupid, but the hitboxes for it are just awful, and you'll just get hit by it when you should, and you'll not get hit by it when you probably should have. And you have limited lives, and I think that was the part where I got really stuck. I was like, what the fuck am I supposed to do? It's like, oh, I'm supposed to get the chicken to hit these turrets, whatever. And then, but I don't understand the relation between these turrets dying and you moving on, but whatever. And then you fight Goobot. So instead of trying to actually predict where you're moving, Goobot just doesn't even aim at you. He aims his bullets. He aims his 3 bullets where you're in between the first and the second, going to the left and right. So as long as you stand still, you'll never get hit.
Wait, seriously?
Yeah, for real. If you don't move, you won't get hit, because the entire idea of his programming is to make it seem like he's trying to predict aim. He's trying to aim ahead, but in reality, all that's happening is that his aim is so shit that if you happen to be moving, you might accidentally get hit by it. But here's a better strategy: just get behind him, because then he can't aim at you anymore, and you just kick him to death. And then I say, when it comes to the models, it's like, there's a game on the PS2 called Metropolis Mania that by Natsume that also looks really low poly, but it's for a reason. It's because it's a city sim kind of thing, and even they look better. At least they have like a art style they're going for, and they don't look horrifying.
Yeah.
Finally, there are a bunch of specials that I want to talk about really quick.
Special.
Yeah. So there's a trailer for SpongeBob Fighting Dutchman's Revenge, which is pre-BFBB, which is interesting that it's there. There's the Rugrats game trailer, which is interesting. Coming this fall. This game has not been rated. There's a pretty good trailer for the Jimmy Neutron movie, which is like, I don't know why a person would own the game but not have seen the movie. Whatever.
Hello, I exist.
Oh God.
Yeah, you remember my dad bought this game from.
There's a second trailer for the movie, so there's 2 trailers, which is interesting. There's a bunch of clips from the movie, which I guess is cool, but I guess it's to help. I guess it's to help make sense of the events that were going on in the game.
Yeah.
And then there was
game literally was like the reason I never wanted to watch the game.
yeah, it was anti-promotion.
There's no such thing as bad press.
If they
That's what there is.
if the game was meant to promote the movie, then clearly for you it did the opposite.
No, I was traumatized with like the fucking burping clown shit and all that.
And there was a bunch of shorts I have never seen before. I don't know if they're publicly available online, if they're on YouTube or something, but there was just a bunch of like, I don't know if they were like pilots or they were just shorts that were before the pilot or before the movie or something, or they were between the movie and the show. I'm not sure, but there was just a bunch of shorts and they were really cool. And then, oh yeah, there was this thing, the Carl Squared game online. I don't know what that's about. I tried to look into it. I couldn't find anything.
The moment we upload this, someone watching. Oh, I know what that was.
Oh yeah, and then there's a short where they have a time travel remote where they go back in time. They go back to the dinosaurs and they come back. And that later, I think in the 3rd or 4th season, was like an hour-long special where they got stuck in the past and they, you know, they're hanging out with dinosaurs and whatever. It's a really cool special. The shorts were before the movie. Okay. At least some of them were. So they promote jimmyneutron.com and if you type that in, it actually redirects to nick.com. And there's no way to play any of the Flash games that were hinted at in the extras.
Is that due to Flash going online or do it not exist?
They don't exist anymore. I could not find them. Yeah. It's because the nick.com website was, obviously it's been updated a lot over the past few decades.
Yeah, so it's no Space Jam.
It's no Space Jam. It has not been preserved. I might be able. I should have tried to look at the Wayback Machine to see if I could have found them, but oh well.
Let's be fair. Who the fuck gives a shit about Jimmy
Neutron
anymore?
It's fair enough, but also like, I don't know. Maybe somebody played it when they were a kid. Okay, like let me tell you that when I was a kid, I remember being like 4 or 5 years old, and I went onto the Nick Jr. site and I played the Flash games there. And I, despite never seeing the show with like an octopus, I don't know what it's called. It's like a Nick Jr. show with an octopus. I played the Flash game that had the octopus, and I still remember it to this day for some reason.
I don't know what you're on about, my friend. I'm sorry. I was a cartoon.
They also had Wubsy, and Wubsy was awesome.
Wubsy, what the fuck was Wubsy?
Do you not remember Wubsy?
No.
Wubsy is like a yellow rodent with a long tail that he bounces on. And then there was like an engineering rabbit, which I think is like probably 80% of the reason why I like engineer girls.
Oh god. How's that? Okay, I've seen it before. I just didn't know what it was called. I've seen that rap.
It's Wubsy something like Wubsy's Wonderful World or some shit like that.
I always thought it always looked like a Japanese food mascot to me.
It does, doesn't it? It's true. Yeah. It's called Wow Wow Wubsy. There you go. It does look like a Japanese mascot.
Yeah, I always thought like, oh, there must be a Japanese mascot for like chips. What else could that be? It's like, oh no,
what
that's
else could it be?
Cartoon. Oh, wait. Well, now for a word from our sponsor, Raid Shadow Legends.
Bomb, 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 bomb. In this game, you can play as many different heroes. Spend all of your money. Give us all of your money. Give it. Give me money. Give it.
We'll come to your house with a shotgun and take your wallet. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Give me your wallet.
It's so stupid.
Good.
We're comedians. Comedians. We're not monkeys.
We are a couple of chuckle fucks on the opposite ends of the country. But I'm assuming this is all gonna be cut out.
I don't know. I might
So-
keep it in maybe.
Oh God. So The Sims Bustin' Out.
The Sims Bustin' Out.
Yeah, The Sims Busted Nut.
What,
Jesus Christ.
what the fuck does that mean, huh?
I don't know. But
Right. So, yep, it was this game, The Sims Bustin' Out for the Game Boy Advance, was produced by Maxis and published by EA. It was released in 2003 in North America and December 19th, just a few weeks later in PAL regions. It was also released on the N-Gage, which I didn't know until just now.
that sounds, yeah, Engage. That was like a Sega thing.
I can't remember what the N-Gage is. It's something, probably. I need to mess with my mic a little bit more.
Oh, geez. All right, yeah, but developed and produced by Maxis.
Yep. So the reason why the game was called The Sims Bustin' Out was because I don't know if it was the first game. I'm not like a Sims expert, but according to my sources here, it's saying that it was the first game that allowed your Sims character to go outside just the house. You could go around the entire town. So busting out of the house, basically. Oh, and for the GBA port was specifically produced by Kryptonite Games, which is now known as Glue Mobile LLC, which is also known for producing so many games it's not even funny. Family Feud. Like, they produced Family Feud and Family Feud Uncensored. Those Family Guy Uncensored. They seem to make all kinds of they made Zuma. They produced Zuma.
Wow.
They produced Zuma and it was published by PopCap.
So these lads.
Yeah, they made Driver Vegas. They made Dexter's Laboratory, Security Alert for the GBA.
President make Jimmy Neutron.
They made the Deer Hunter series.
Yeah,
Deer Hunter.
Let's get into the actual game.
Hold on. Let's see if I can find anything else about this game. Oh yeah. Okay, there's things I can mention later. Let's see if there's anything. Is there anything about the development I can know? Nope.
Yeah. So
Sims, big differences between. I assume most people who would be listening to this are familiar with the mainline Sims games. So the major differences is that it's less of a sandbox and it's more of an adventure game where you have quests to do and you go out and you do them. You can't die. Sims can't die. Your main antagonist that you play as is the character you play as from the beginning to the end. You don't have multiple Sims. You don't have a family. So whenever you would die, like if you die of starvation or something, you just pass out and you awaken in the hospital.
yeah, Genie laughed at me.
Yeah, and the genie laughs at you. Yeah.
But yeah, it doesn't really. It feels like a different game with a coat of skin on it. You know what I mean?
I guess I don't know. So there's no room motive, which means there's a homesick motive. Basically, if you're far away from your home for too long, you'll get homesick. So it's different from the mainline games. You actually, when your sim goes to do a job, you don't just get money. You actually play a little mini game to get money. There's no time control. Time moves on its own. The only way you can control time is by sleeping, because sleeping will fast forward time. There's no buy mode or build mode. You just buy items, they go into your inventory, and then you can use your inventory in your housing to then place it down. And there's also weather. Weather exists, unlike in the PC version. So this game is very different from your typical mainline game. All of your goals and objectives are very different. The only thing that's really the same is the core like needs system. Your sim will have needs, hunger, bathroom, shower, etc. That affects different things. That's like the one thing that is totally the same.
I mean, the main point of fun in the Sims is having a family and watching them go.
Yep.
Here, it feels like a weird, well, I can't say sort of rip off or adaptation.
You don't farm, but you do mini games to get money. So yeah.
Yeah, it feels like a weird life, and I guess that's kind of what The Sims is, but it just feels so disconnected that it doesn't feel like a Sims game. It feels like, well, a different game entirely. I can't.
Yeah, it feels like an adventure game. You're going on a little adventure or whatever because you do quests and you collect items and you get money to do things.
So I'll be perfect. I didn't play this game, but is there an ending to this? Does it just?
Yeah, there is an ending. Yeah, you go through all the quests and eventually you do the last quest, and then you have the best house. You actually upgrade houses
All right.
throughout the game, and it's in stages because there's chapters. There's 5 chapters if I remember right, and at the end of each chapter, you move to a new place.
Okay. All I remember is that the sound quality is very poor.
Yeah, it's mostly just a GBA thing, I think.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, I don't have much to say on this game. Just so mediocre.
Yeah, I mean, I suggested it just because I grew up with it, so I appreciate a lot of it. I think the real highlight outside of just diddling around in your house, buying and moving around furniture, is talking with the characters. Some of the characters are pretty boring, but I think a lot of the characters have like this sort of very what I would consider quintessential The Sims zaniness. That is especially present in the side games more so than in the mainline games. So, and I got to tell you that almost all of the sideline games from now on actually follows this formula of having like quests and focusing more on having a narrative than having a life sim. So, for example, The Sims 2 came out, and then The Sims 2 on console, I think, followed the PC more closely, but The Sims 2 on handheld had this crazy story about you're going into this town and you're an actor and it's sort of a set, but the people that live there think they're living like a real life. And then there's aliens that show up. It's crazy weird shit.
Maybe we could one day do that game.
Maybe.
I do remember that like this sounding kind of like mice. Might be what that cheat theory.
Could you say that again?
Mycin, the more cartoon.
Oh yeah.
Shit.
I don't think we need to play My Sims.
Why not?
I don't know. I mean, I actually used to play My Sims DS. So
I never played My Sims DS. I was like, I never really understood the hate behind like, oh, I hate My Sims.
I think it's
PBG,
literally
John Trump.
Well, I think PBG made fun of it just because it turned into like a meme. I think a lot of people didn't like it because its art style was very simplistic, almost like a predecessor to what we have with like the corporate art style or whatever. I think the other reason is because it's a very simple game. It's very simple because even disregarding mainline Sims games, even just looking at the sideline games, there's a fair amount of depth there. And there's this overall goal in all of the games, including the side games, of this sort of simplistic simulation of life. My Sims doesn't really fulfill that. It's like almost comparable to Animal Crossing, if anything. I don't know why that's like the thing that comes to mind, but I think that's what's most comparable.
Yeah.
You just kind of walk around and just kind of do whatever, and you kind of talk to people, and you kind of play mini games, and you're kind of
Yeah, and then there's like
around.
but track with Sims busting out. We've gone off track. But
Right.
yeah. So yeah, The Sims busting out. It was a mediocre game. I don't really have much more to say on it. Besides just like couldn't really figure out like what my main goal was. It was very obtuse.
I mean,
That could also
if you press select, or I think start or whatever, you go to a little quest screen that tells you all of your objectives.
okay. Well, I just wasn't paying attention. But yeah, it was just like it seems like a fine game, not my particular bag of tea.
Yeah. I think it has a lot of charm if you dig deep into it. So a person who is interested in having a little The Sims zaniness. If anyone has ever played The Sims 2 or on the GBA or the DS, or any of the other The Sims sideline games, I think The Sims Bustin' Out. I'm not sure if it's the first one that had this formula. I think it's at least one of the first to have this formula, and I think there's a lot to enjoy about it, even though it's very mediocre and rough around the edges in the end.
Yeah, honestly, if I was going to recommend anything, go play Stardew Valley or.
I will say that there's an interesting thing where it actually has crossplay with the GameCube. So if you if you do some stuff in the in the library, you can mess with the computer in the library. You can actually connect the game to the GameCube version. I'm not sure if it's just the GameCube or the GameCube version of the game. And you get this secret island where the rich guy, I don't remember his name, Dr. Moneybags or whatever, hangs out. He's just there. I don't know if there's anything else you can do on the island, because I've never been on the island before, because I've never been able to do that crossplay.
Well, that's at least something.
And I mean, I think that's also part of the reason why it was crazy to me as a kid, because I was like, what is this? I don't know I don't know what this is. What is it?
Yeah,
So mysterious.
Games are more magical
Games are more magical when you're a kid. I'll tell you that. I mean, I guess that really should go to show how awful Jimmy Neutron was. That you played as a kid and you were traumatized by it.
I didn't even like it when I was a kid. I just played a lot because it was one of the games I owned. It was that and Mario Kart Double Dash.
Yep.
And then me and my brother got Lego Star Wars, and Jimmy Neutron ceased to fucking exist in them. Because Lego Star Wars, the original, the very first Lego Star Wars, episodes 1 and 3, it was just like, we got this. Jimmy Neutron no longer matters. But yeah.
Is that it?
Yeah, I think that's it.
All right, so I guess we'll just make our suggestions for next time.
Well, first off, yeah, that's the episode. See you next time if there is a next time. And
I mean, we should probably just. Oh wait, I think this is it. I think the game I had was, and this is the game I'm going to be suggesting is just Phineas and Ferb, the video game on the DS, released in 2009.
Oh boy, I'm gonna have to play a DS game with a PC.
Okay, get this on Game Rankings, it has a 76%, but then Game Trailers gave it a 1 out of 10, and IGN gave it an E. I don't even know what that means. An E.
All right, well, yeah, my next game is Spy Hunter.
Spy Hunter on the PS2.
Yeah, Spy Hunter. Which I don't really need to download. I haven't played it fun. But I should grab it. But I should dig out my PS2 and play it. A bit, take some notes, and play through it fully. But that's cool. I don't know where my PS2 is. But yeah, so you can stop the recording.
Okay. Thank you for watching. Thank you for
I wanna-
listening.
I want to fucking kill myself. Don't do that again.